many of you have noticed the rise in focus on mental health? We are talking about it in just about every industry. Corporate America, churches, the educational system, healthcare, politics, even in sports. Remember the tennis phenom who withdrew from a major tournament to focus on her mental health? And what about the college football player who retired early to deal with his? There is no denying that the strides we've made in mental health has resulted in many more people getting counseling. And although there is still more work to do, we can see the impact of making it more accessible and acceptable in our communities. In 7th grade, I told my dad, I want to be a counselor. He said, great, you'll always work, because everybody needs somebody to talk to at some point in their lives. I do not think we realized the depth of that statement in 1983. All I knew is that I wanted to help people, and I like being in everybody's business. So what better way to make a living than to get trained to help them solve their problems? I've enjoyed watching this transformation over the last 30 years where we no longer have to hide behind creative titles like stress management, how to avoid burnout, and conflict resolution. No, you all are inviting us into your spaces to talk openly about depression and how anxiety shows up, post-traumatic stress disorder, and suicide prevention. So you think I'd be tickled pink right now with the attention that mental health is getting, but I'm not. I see something happening with this trend that looks more like a distraction than a solution, and I call foul. There is something going on behind the scenes, and we know that there is something going on because there's a lot of finger pointing. But I'm pointing the finger right back, because is it us? Are we really that incapable of managing our daily life stressors? Or is it a distraction from societal ills that are robbing us of our quality of life? I mean, could this mental health crisis possibly be related to the expansion of social media and how intrusive it has become? You mean to tell me it's not related to the toxic job culture and the fact that inflation is outpacing compensation? Have we even looked at the food industry and how much processed foods we're eating and how much sugar it has in it? And let's not even talk about the toxic political culture. You've noticed the shift since the election of our first African-American president in 2008, haven't you? So it couldn't possibly be related to all of those. See, I only have time to talk about a couple, so I'm choosing social media and the food industry, but I implore upon you to look at the other ones. I think you'd be surprised. We know that millions of people scroll social media aimlessly every day, and we also know that it impacts their mental health. Processing that amount of information can be difficult, and if you're not careful, you'll fall into the comparison trap. Because you're looking at curated information about other people's lives, your mind registers as true, but it's not. Remember that famous DJ, they announced his suicide? He was on that daily talk show. You all remember that? Just the day before, we saw a video of him dancing with his wife, and they looked amazingly happy. That's what we mean by curated. Your mind registers that as real, and it's not. So I call foul. And let's not overlook the anonymity that social media allows people to hide behind computer screens. See, they can bully people, they can be rude and put these negative commentaries on there and a lot of false information. And you think that wouldn't impact your mental health and how you perceive the world? But let's move on. Let's go to the food industry. Are you aware of how many of our foods are laced with ingredients that have been deemed poison in other countries, and yet they're still allowed in our food? And the amount of processed foods and high sugary foods multiplies daily on our shelves. And that fools us into thinking that convenience is more important than nutrition. See, those are subtle impacts to our mental health, but they're detrimental nonetheless. Our dietary choices impact our overall health. We know it impacts our physique. Some of us are small, some of us are large. Some of us are active, some of us are inactive. Some of us are ill, some of us are well. But why have we not transitioned that information to our emotional and cognitive wealth? gave up sugar last year. The amount of sugar that I eat now is either hidden in foods or it's in batter because I still like eating fried foods. But overall, it has decreased drastically. And of course, I lost weight. But some other things that I noticed was a better clarity of thought. I could focus longer, and I was not as emotionally agitated on a day-to-day basis. See, when we give into our cravings, we think that we are feeding our bodies. But your body is really starving. It's starving for those nutrients that it needs and the hydration that it needs to perform. And that impacts your mood. Quick room check. How many of you get hangry when it's time to eat and no food is being served, meaning you are hungry and angry at the same time? That's what I'm talking about. Your mood is impacted. And we can see how that would play out with a child who is paraded on a commercial for being malnourished, but we haven't transitioned that information to our own lives. We are the answers to this mental health crisis, but there are also some systemic things that need to happen in order for us to see an alleviation of the mental health crisis. Listen, I want you all to go to counseling. I want you to deal with those traumas and those experiences that have robbed you of your peace. I want you to go to counseling and improve your life skills, figure out how to get along better with one another. I want you to lay down on that proverbial couch and figure out the best version of yourself. But what I do not want to happen is for us to become so distracted by the societal ills so that people can monetize mental health with Band-Aids and not solutions, as they have done with other areas of healthcare, i.e., all of these treatments, but no cures. And because I care about you, because I am clinically trained, I will leave you with some tips to manage these things that are impacting our mental health. And it's based on the word care. The first C in care is a challenge for you to be more intentional about your scrolling on social media. Be mindful of how it is impacting your mood and your thoughts. The A in care is advocate. Advocate for a healthy job environment. Ask for mental health initiatives and then take advantage of them as you do your other healthcare benefits. The R is a resolve to choose those nutrients that support a healthy body and mind. It may be difficult in the beginning, but there is a lot of help out there to get you moving. And the last component of care is E. Engage in that political process, but be mindful of how it is impacting your mood. Look at the information so that you can make informed decisions, but not for it to control your life. The answers lie in us taking a step back to call foul, but also stepping forward to do those things that will support a quality mental health so that we can see a decrease in this mental health crisis. Thank you.